Up, and of course do that with this video as well. I appreciate
Yes.
that. But right now, let's go ahead and get to the news because there's a lot of it.
Stop the music. It's time for news.
All the news you never want to know about drones. Live from the newsroom, it's Jeff Sills. What's happening in the newsroom, Jeff?
Well, we got some good stuff for you guys this week and get a chance to expound a little bit more on those federal rules. But to start things off, as always, I'm looking for, I guess, new and exciting things that they're doing with drones. California has started using drones, the LAPD system, etc. But in Novato, California, they used it in a very unique way. When a would-be arsonist made a break from the cops and got caught in a 6-hour standoff, in the midst of the standoff, the arsonist asked for a cigarette, which, of course, the cops are not going to give him something that ignites.
Right.
So their idea was to give him a vape pen, and the way they delivered it to him was with a drone.
Right.
All right.
Now,
All
I
right.
don't think I have that footage. I have the footage of him. Is this him?
Yeah, this is him.
This is him trying to be an arsonist. And the question is, apparently he dumped gas on the floor in there and wanted to light the place up, but it didn't take.
Well,
No.
So
he's in a gas station, right? He's
yeah,
in
I mean
Circle
that's
K.
that's a bad
There's
place to
cigarettes
do it.
everywhere.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So the question remains: are you still an arsonist if the fire didn't light? And then, of course, the Circle K employee did the smart thing. He brought a Circle K mat out and then just kind of snuffed it, which
Yeah.
is smart. You don't want to stomp on that, create sparks. So
I just thought they'd put some chloroform in the vape pen. Just
yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
And right after he got the vape pen, he turned himself in, so it worked.
And of course
he just gave up.
he's
It's
being
like,
transported.
This is one more thing I can't do.
He's being transported to a place where cigarettes are now currency.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so
hilarious.
next in the news, going on the line of good, exciting things done with drones, a group in, where is this? For the FPT Industrial Tech Day event in Turin, Italy, broke the Guinness World Record for the heaviest lift done with a drone.
Whoa.
What is that thing? Is that it's
massive.
is that an
This
octo?
is called the Mega Drone. It has 16 propellers and it lifted 222.6 pounds to a 1.5 meter height
Wow.
for more than 1 minute and 3 seconds.
Wow. The
That
Mega
is
Drone.
Huge.
I mean, that's a big. Imagine
What
how
does
loud
it
that
weigh?
was.
Do you know? Did they say what it weighs?
It didn't indicate in the article what the drone itself weighs, but I mean it was 101 kilograms, so that translates to 222.6
Right.
pounds.
Wow,
So,
that's a Guinness record, huh?
yep, Guinness World Record.
Wow. That
All right.
is ridiculous.
So, as we reported earlier in the week, we talked about the new drone rules that are coming from the FAA that will allow people to fly at night and to fly over crowds without requiring waivers. In other words, you'll be able to do this through just a normal request system, similar to Lance. But obviously, there are some, I guess, requirements for that.
Yeah, there's
If you're
some
gonna fly at
caveats for
night-
sure, and there's going to be different tiers, different classes of this, and it's not necessarily all going to be good for us lowly hobbyists and Part 107 holders. It's mostly for Amazon.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is that the FAA's promise to develop a drone identification system is what's going to be the delay for this, because that system is nowhere near ready. It takes 12 to 18 months for a rule to become a law in the first place. So they're not expecting to see these rules finalized until 2021 or later.
So by identify, you're talking about like a transponder like they use in aircraft?
Well, they're talking about a drone identification system where the drone would send off an ident to identify what it is, who it's owned by, and what it's doing. In other words, what is its purpose. And then there's everything. The ideas center around everything from apps to ground stations to a whole slew of different technologies that they're looking at to be able to identify these drones.
Now, will this just be for the people that are looking to make this addendum to their Part 107, or is this going to be for everyone? As far as I know, I think hobbyists can still just fly at night, right? I mean, they can, not over people, but you can fly at night as long as you have like a strobe on there for 3 statute miles visibility. Yeah.
There's not a lot in here that identifies that this is going to override or conflict with the existing hobbyist rules.
Okay, good. We can't have that.
So, all right. So moving on then to something a little bit more fun because I love new technology and I love rethinking the use of drones. Global Energy Transmissions, or GET, is a Portland, Oregon-based company that has come up with the ability to wirelessly charge your drone while it's in flight.
Now with this system you can place such charging spots at a distance from 5 to almost 15 miles, and drone can travel from one to another, quickly charge in a few minutes above charging spot, and then continue the switch. So that's a perfect system for various industries and applications of drone industry, which are nowadays limited due to the basic limitation of the battery lifetime. And we believe that this approach, which we demonstrate here, can revolutionize what you can do with drones in your business.
I think I understood every other word he said, but basically, and thank you, non-English speaking people, for picking up English. You know, us Americans, we only know one language. And thank you for speaking English for us, whether it be with a thick accent. But the thing that I'm getting from that, it's kind of like these things, like these things where you charge your phone, right?
Yeah.
And so is that the system though? That whole thing with wires and the poles. So you get near that and it.
You set up the fence, right? You set up the area, and then you fly the drone down into it, and it starts charging the drone. And it can charge multiple drones, so you can have like 4 or 5 drones parked in there, and it can be charging them. And then as you need a drone, you can just take control of it and fly it off, and then bring it back and start charging it. Take the next one, fly it off. I mean, it's essentially persistent flying.
It's a great idea, but how long does it take to charge? And the amount of charging has to be faster than the discharge of it hovering, certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has the ability to charge it faster than the drone is consuming it.
Now, what happens if you step into there? Like if a person gets in there, you get Dane Bramage or what?
No idea.
That's what I need for my my flight across Wyoming.
I mean,
a couple of those.
Yeah, there you go. Are you still doing that?
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get the money together because it's, costs money.
And let's go ahead and skip ahead to that story really quick.
Oh, you want to skip ahead? Okay. Well,
yeah.
In that case, then we're going to hop, skip, and jump to a man who flew a Mavic 2 Pro for more than 22 miles over a busy road in Florida.
It's my record.
And here's Ash Ha explaining more about this.
Hi, I'm Ash from Droning On. Now, whilst the majority of drone operators are focused on protecting our hobby and sport and creating positive drone stories, some are sadly determined to destroy it. And I'll add that the new FAA regulation changes just introduced probably won't help. A new obsession has developed for flight range, and that basically involves extending the battery capacity and flying the drone as far as possible away from yourself, long away from line of sight, and basically all in order to log an unofficial world record. Strange, bizarre and sad as this is, it's also illegal, and it puts our hobby at risk of increased regulation, as we've just seen here in the UK and in Canada, where drone laws are already now implemented or on their way. At this rate, America will probably follow next. The drone operator in this case uses his full name for his YouTube channel, and he's apparently called Pablo Chacon. He uses the same name on Mavic Pilots, a discussion group where range junkies compare their silly exploits in flying as far as they possibly can, long out of line of sight. On Saturday, he posted to the group showing off a video in which he states that he drove his car on a road in Florida at the same time as manually piloting his drone over a distance of 36 kilometers. That's about 22 miles. Now, clearly, this is just stupid and careless. You cannot concentrate on flying a drone and avoiding obstacles whilst also driving a car safely on a public road with other traffic about. He even comments in his post on Mavic Pilots that he had to hold the controller in one hand and the steering wheel in the other, and the worst is yet to come. But before any of my viewers consider defending him, just think about how you'd feel if he had lost control of his car and smashed into your family who were driving along that road, killing them all. So the video that he shared shows a manually navigated flight. The entire flight length, in fact, is 45 minutes due to the extended battery that the operator has attached to his DJI Mavic. Now, the big issue here is not necessarily the range, because he wasn't entirely out of line of sight and partially had the drone in sight whilst he was driving. However, you simply cannot drive a car whilst also keeping focus on your drone and any full-sized manned aircraft which might be about to cross its path. Therefore, I would argue that strictly he wasn't in line of sight. Now, at the end of the video, he drained his drone battery so far that he couldn't even properly pilot it down to land, and the drone flies out of control to a stop in the middle of the opposing carriageway, right in front of oncoming traffic. Worst still, if we take a glance at his YouTube channel where he shows off similar videos flying centrally in the middle of cities, he's clearly quite a careless and selfish operator. For somebody to conduct a drone flight in this way whilst driving a car shows an absolute disregard for safety and a ton of ignorance.
Wow. Thank you, Ash. His name's Ash Ha from Droning On. You check out his channel. He's got some great videos on there. There's a link in the description to the full video. And now, Chris, your thoughts on that?
Okay, I've done several videos where I'm following the drone with a car. I'm not operating the car. I have a driver, which is, at the time of the flights that I've done, totally legal. As long as you're maintaining a line of sight. You can be in one vehicle, be it a boat or a motor vehicle, such as, is a motor vehicle a car? Whatever. As long as the vehicle you are operating the drone from is not another aircraft, that is totally legal. However, he was driving at the same time. That's pretty dumb. I've tried to do that in a parking lot in a Dodge Viper. That was pretty hard to do.
Some people may call me out because a couple of years ago I did a similar video where I was driving the car and flying the drone backwards. I did it on a backcountry road, and I did have a spotter on the side of the road. We had walkie-talkies, and all the bases were covered. But yeah, it's not a wise thing to do. I probably wouldn't do it again.
I mean, I really don't have an issue with him hitting other aircraft because he was not high enough to hit other aircraft. I mean, he was barely above the tree line, but I mean, towers, power lines, he was definitely low enough for that. And that's really hard to do. I mean, there's so many things. Even operating, even the fact that I've done this from a car, I mean, it's like hyper alert that you have to be just scanning for high voltage lines and cell phone towers. It's hard to do.
Absolutely.
I'll throw
as
in
I
my
say
2
that
cents.
as I'm planning to fly across the state.
I'll throw in my 2 cents. I think the argument for me is less about the drone as much as it is about the operation of the vehicle. I think that he was careless with other people as he was driving that vehicle. And yes, Ash is right. I mean, you're not supposed to be messing around with your cell phone. So a remote from a Mavic that you have to keep an eye on and make sure the Mavic isn't going to drift down and crash into trees or collide with something. He wasn't watching the road the whole time.
I 100% agree with that.
I'm more concerned about the drive than I am the drone at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for those responsible drone pilots watching, and I know that's most of you, and all of you, you're right. It's up to us, really, to report these things to the FAA, because the FAA are not police. The only way they can find out about reckless and careless flights is by you reporting them, and you can do that via the link that I have in the description here. And there's a few things that you should know when reporting a moron. And by the way, yes, during the shutdown, it's going to slow some things down. But so you want to go down here, and you have all these choices. You want to click on the general public. Then the next one,
us.
That's us. And then click on that. That's by default. Now, this is the important part. Don't click on any of these because they will all take you to dead ends. You want to click on none of the above. I think it's just the FAA trying to make sure everybody's paying attention and not just willy-nilly. So if you want to report a moron, then you just fill out the form here. You can put first name more, last name on. That's more on. And just fill this out. And then submit it. And then, of course, they will have to follow up on that.
The old see something, say something technique.
Yeah, of course.
Gotcha.
It's up to us as responsible pilots to report the irresponsible pilots. And now I think we can go back, Jeff, and
okay.
And
so we'll back up then to the one other story that we had. Legendary surfer Derek Ho was at the Bonsai Pipeline surfing. There's not a lot of background information on this other than the video itself in which a drone nearly hits him.
Yeah, check this out. This is pretty awesome.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Isn't it? So there goes the drone by the other drone.
Good pilot.
Yeah, but perfect sky. Look at that. Just gorgeous.
Look at him matching the speed perfectly.
Now, here comes the drone in the background. You see it?
I do not.
You see it's a little dot?
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah, he got pretty close. I'd say within 3 feet. Here, I'll zoom it in. You can see him coming in. And just as the wave goes up, the drone's going down. And I'd say it's pretty close.
Do you have footage from that drone?
They didn't share the footage from the drone in the article that I found the information in. So I would imagine it's out there somewhere, but they're probably not proud of it. But yeah, I mean, nobody was hurt. It was a near miss, but still, it's just one of those things where you want to be careful if you're, filming around people.
If I was that drone pilot that filmed the incident, I'd be ticked that guy ruined my shot.
Right? Yeah.
Because I'd be going, this is amazing.
Yeah. And then here comes this other drone in there.
Messes up the shot.
Yeah, right. Well, there's something that I feel that I need to mention to everyone. You guys are all my friends, and if you guys know me, you know that I was in an accident, a really bad accident, where I almost died about a year ago, just the day after Christmas. And as a result of that, I had a lawsuit against the distracted driver that turned my car into an accordion. And I was fortunate enough to finally get a settlement recently. And I thought to myself, what could I do with that money? Could I go on a trip? Put it in a bank? Nah. I want to do something that would benefit what I'm doing here and benefit all of you watching. So what I did was, with Jeff's help, I bought an ungodly video editing system. And so, that way I can share that with all of you. And one of the things I got was and I'll show you this here. This is my current setup here. This is two, what are these, 27s, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay.
They look like 27.
Yeah. So what I did was I got one of those super mega ultra wide. That's just one monitor. It's 49 inches, and it's as if you have two, but it doesn't have the bezel in the middle of it, right? So
it's more like 3.5. That thing's huge.
It's really, really big.
It's huge.
And so I got that, but I also got a system to go along with it. And here's Jeff to tell you more because he helped me pick it out. Jeff?
Well, so we decided to go with something that has way more power than what Ken would ever possibly use, and going on the basis that gaming rigs and stuff have the incredible power that he's looking for.
Right, and I wanted it to be future proof as well. I don't want to buy something and then it be obsolete in 2 years.
Yeah. So, do you want the hardware specs for this one? Is that what you're looking for?
Sure.
Okay,
I won't
so
understand any of it, but you can.
Well, it's an Area 51 Alienware with an Intel Core i9 processor. It's got 18 cores with 4.4 gigahertz of Intel Turbo Boost. He has two dual RTX 2080 Ti NVIDIA graphics cards with 11 gigabytes of DDR6 memory on each card. He has 64 gigabytes of quad-channel HyperX memory. He has two terabyte SSD boot drive and a 2 terabyte 7200 RPM SATA drive with a 1500 watt multi GPU approved power supply. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, for free they gave you a keyboard and a mouse.
Yeah, they did.
Well,
thanks.
yeah, you just bought a.
Yeah, and I didn't bring a car.
You bought a car.
Yeah, basically, I didn't bring a picture of it. If you've seen the Alienware, it's like a triangle case thing, and it lights up. It's got RGB.
Yeah, yeah.
And for the dorks out there, I think I saw some. And I mean dork in the most loving way. Someone said, "Is it a Threadripper?" No, I went with the Intel.
Yeah, we went with the Intel specifically because Threadripper doesn't have as good of a performance with Adobe, and the Intel does. So
Yeah.
that's the reason why I went with the Intel i9.
So, and along with that, I did buy a moat for the building, extra alarms, and a cheetah that will be in the room with the computer at all times. So don't even think about it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
that's
I'm looking forward to all the glitches and stuff that happened with the stream. Gone. I said, what's it going to take to make that stop? And apparently it's going to take making it rain a little bit. So that's what I did. I got no money left, but I'm going to bring quality to you because I love you guys. I love what I'm able to do every week here with your help. And thank you very much to the stream team. That is Jeff Sills and Greg Kunert from Oz by Drone. You guys are my rocks. I mean it.
Happy to help.
And with that, we got to say goodbye.
Thanks for stopping by. Now get out.
Okay. Now it's just us again.
I like that.
Ah.